Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first FTxSDG Challenge 2021. This is the first edition of our international competition by the Financial Times FT Talent team and Seedstars. I am Virginia Stagni, Head of Business Development FT Talent, and I want to give a warm welcome to all of you that are connecting from all over the world. We can already see from the chat that you are letting us know where are you connecting from. This is great. Keep it going. We want to see and, of course, start knowing you a bit better throughout this experience together, because we're going to spend the next 5 days, so from Monday until Friday, connected from all over the world, but of course with the two key points. One is London, where I'm connecting from, and the other one is Geneva. You are thousands of viewers from all over the planet. Some of you are also our challengers, so the 150 participants we have selected for this challenge. How you went through different application processes, boot camps, both made by Financial Times and the Seedstars. You have been selected among a lot of participants and applicants, more than 4,500. So the 3% only was selected today. So you should be really proud of yourself to be here today with us. You are divided in two groups, you challengers. Some of you are startup founders and startup teams, and some others are individuals. You are all joining for trying to tackle the 6 SDG topics that we have selected for this competition. Of course, all of these 6 SDG topics are really meaningful and strategic for the future of our world, our people, and our societies. And the 6 SDG topics that we have selected: gender equality, climate action, quality education, good jobs and economic growth, reduced inequalities, and good health and well-being, are definitely meaningful for this challenge and for both our organizations, Financial Times and the Seedstars. As you can see, I am unfortunately connecting from home because I have COVID, but our team, the FT Talent team, is connected from the London studio. Hi, Noor and Haya. How are you today?
Hello. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome.
So as you can see, basically, we are going to be moderating this event through these 2 different windows, but we are part of the same team, as I was saying, the FT Talent, and we are based in London. And this is what you're going to see now. It's basically our surroundings from the FT TV studio. So not a surprisingly cloudy and gray London here. This is St. Paul Cathedral, but you can see in front of the FT headquarters, Bracken House. We want to encourage, and please keep it going on the chat that you can see from the website. Tell us where you're connecting from, and of course your name, and keep it going, keep networking, and not only on the chat, but on LinkedIn and all the other groups that we have created for you. First point, I definitely want to thank deeply our partners, Seedstars, for believing in this partnership since the beginning of 2021. FT Talent was created in 2018 to make change and connection happen, and above all, for making a younger talent from diverse backgrounds and from the diverse corners of the world connecting with each other, but above all, connecting with FT journalistic acumen, expertise, and of course, experts and leaders. FT Talent is a platform for younger talent as yourself to connect, discuss groundbreaking and interesting, but above all, meaningful issues as the SDG. This event is brought up to life thanks to this partnership between FT and Seedstars, as I was mentioning. We are conveying and bringing together our 2 expertises. The Seedstars have been really meaningful and, of course, important in bringing to this challenge many startups, and the ones that we have selected, of course, again, congratulations to you guys for being with us today. But I know that also within the general public, there are many startup founders from all over the world. And Seedstars is going to guide the startups throughout the next 5 days. With the FT Talent team, we are guiding the 60 individuals that we have been selecting among the applicants for bringing new ideas and trying to tackle the 6 SDG topics in teams. They are going to be mentored by FT experts and leaders. We want you guys to really create valuable bonds out of this experience, even in this virtual ecosystem. So network as much as you can, not just through the chat, of course. Connect on LinkedIn, where we created different groups. Ask questions. This is really important that you have the chance throughout the next 5 days to ask questions directly to the panelists and the experts that are joining us. Do this through the chat. For the ones that are connecting with us, and you are the general public out there, thank you so much for being with us today, and keep connected throughout this week. Our website agenda is open, and you can see the publicly opened parts of the event. They are in dark red, and these are open to anyone. Please, of course, put them in your agenda and connect at the right time. I am beyond thrilled to see what is happening in the next 5 days. What are the solutions that are going to be presented by both startups and individuals? You will all be inspired by experts connecting from all over the world as much as yourself. And of course, we want to encourage you guys not only to connect with the experts, but also to connect with us, the Financial Times and Seedstars team. We are here for you. We are really excited for this event. So don't hesitate to contact us and to get in touch for knowing more about this event and also the behind the scenes. I will leave now the stage for some other official welcomes that are joining me. One is from London and another one is from Geneva. The first one is from our Financial Times Chief Commercial Officer, Jon Slade, to which I will leave the stage. Thank you, Jon.
Great, lovely. Well, it's lovely to be with you all. Thank you so much, Virginia. I'm not in the office. I'm not in the Financial Times office. We don't have beds in the background at the Financial Times office. I'm working from home again, just about 30 miles north of London. But it's a huge, huge pleasure to welcome you to the FT Talent and Seedstars collaboration. I am Jon Slade. I'm the FT's Group Chief Commercial Officer, and genuinely a very, very warm welcome indeed. And I am very excited to have this opportunity to say hello to you today, because I think today marks a number of firsts that, if we put together, means we have a recipe for something really pretty impressive. So to start with, this is the first collaboration between the Financial Times and the awesome organization that is Seedstars, and it is a real pleasure to be in partnership. Secondly, it's the first FT Talent Challenge to welcome startups. And thirdly, it's our first initiative with an emerging markets focus. And it's really important to the FT that our voice is heard and it's considered valuable in the dynamic emerging market economy. It's such an exciting space with so many fantastic opportunities and ideas. And we at the FT, we want to be a part of that. So the mission of FT Talent, as Virginia said, is to foster new ideas and innovation. And the 6 UN Sustainable Development Goals are a wonderful framework through which to do that: gender equality, climate action, quality education, good jobs and economic growth, reduced inequalities, and good health and well-being. And all of these topics are incredibly important, of course. And at the FT, we address many of them frequently in our pages, in our events, and through our digital publications with FT brands such as Moral Money, Climate Capital, the FT Expert Series, and Sustainable Views. So please, if you haven't already, check them out. You'll find links to them from ft.com. And we reflect our support for these challenges, not just in our journalism, but via our own brand marketing, which is more than just advertising. It's a solid reflection of the company that we are, the people who work for the FT, and critically, what we feel is our role as a newspaper in today's world. Our most recent activity focused on letters to this new world, featuring open letters from our journalists and our staff outlining what they would like to see changed in our new normal world. They covered everything from climate change, the world of work, digital finance, and global inequality. And it builds on the overarching idea of the New Agenda campaign that we launched in 2020, in which we're positioning ourselves at what we think is the forefront of the debate about the next iteration of capitalism. In fact, we said it was time for a new agenda, a time for capitalism to reset itself, which was potentially a pretty punchy move from capitalism's newspaper of record. But the call didn't fall on deaf ears, and we know from a very passionate reader response to that campaign that the world of business, finance, and politics not only recognizes the need for change, but is also hungry for solutions. And that's where you come in. We're very excited to be welcoming so many talented minds, 150 of you in the competition from around the world to this challenge. You're from 6 continents and more than 50 countries. And it's really exciting for me this morning to know that I'm speaking to you here from my spare bedroom north of London in so many different countries around the world, a real global connection. And your diversity of backgrounds makes you unique and makes this challenge unique. Many of you will already harbour some fantastic ideas, but I strongly encourage you to both speak up and listen to your co-challengers. That diversity of background and thought is going to shape your ideas in ways that you can't perhaps yet imagine. And please do take advantage, as Virginia said, of all the networking sessions, because FT Talent Challenges are a very special opportunity to build some lifelong and career-long connections. And finally, no matter the outcome of this week, you should all be very, very proud of making it here out of literally thousands of applications. So I know you've got a lot to give. I can't wait to see what you come up with. I'm going to be tuning in during the week. But for now, I will say good luck and enjoy. Thanks, Virginia, over to you.
Thank you so much, John. And thanks for such a warm welcome from the FT. So now, as I was mentioning before, we have our second welcome now from Geneva. And I would love to welcome on stage the CEO and co-founder of Seedstars, Alisee de Tonnac.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, John and Virginia, for opening the event. It's a real pleasure to be organizing the first edition of the Financial Times SDG Challenge. So I'm connecting with you today from Geneva. I think we're in tune, at least in terms of the weather, which is gray and cloudy, and we wish to be all together in the studio. But thank you again for the whole team organizing it in keeping us safe. I have to say, it has been once again an amazing experience to connect with all of you virtually. It's really heartwarming to see so many people tuning in from all around the world, including, of course, our 30 startup finalists, our 60 individual finalists who have actually been chosen from over 4,500 applications. And my lucky number for today is from over 145 countries. So that really proves at least the power of these virtual experiences of really building an inclusive environment and platform for everyone to not only be visible, but to engage with one another. For those who are watching this event for the first time, let me give you a bit of background on Seedstars and why we've been operating these different startup challenges for the past nearly 9 years, so since 2013. So the mission at Seedstars is to have a positive impact on people's lives in emerging markets through technology and entrepreneurship. And I think in that mission, we really, when you look at the spectrum of entrepreneurs, it goes from entrepreneurs building livelihood sustainable businesses to niche ventures to high growth ventures, which are the so-called startups. My team, we have decided to dedicate our time, our resources in the next years in supporting and so targeting these high growth ventures, the so-called startups. Why? Because we have seen through the past in different countries, through our programs and investments we've been running in the past years, that they actually have a disproportionate impact, positive impact on job creation and social economic development. And so that's not to say that it's not important to support entrepreneurs throughout the spectrum. And many of our partners that will be joining us this week do go through extreme measures to support these different types of entrepreneurs. But I think for us, it was really important to focus and identify where we could prioritize. And more importantly, what we've realized and what we aimed through this support of high growth ventures is that through the solutions that they develop, for example, investments that we made in financial services actually target and support directly entrepreneurs within the spectrum, for example, SMEs that are looking for loans. So typically that was our way to engage with the full spectrum. Seedstars is really represented, maybe let's say, in 3 core activities. On one side, we have the investments, and we've been testing out over the past years. Now we have a portfolio of nearly 80 businesses around the world across all thematics, from education, healthcare, to renewable energy. And I believe now we're touching over 35 countries. We also run, as I was mentioning, entrepreneurial programs, so different programs to really support the growth of these high growth ventures, the founders, and the skills that they need to grow. Currently, right now, for example, we're running over 20 programs from Colombia to Thailand, supporting companies to expand to new markets, like companies still figuring out their product market fit. And finally, making sure we really represent local communities of entrepreneurs around the world. And that's why we're here today for the FTxSDG Challenge, really to try and make sure we continue and build this foundation, of a robust foundation of ecosystems around the world that can not only interact, but support one another, invest in one another. Maybe the novelty of what we have done this year, contrary to our previous edition, is that we have included this individual challenge. Not only did we really want to leverage the partnership with the Financial Times talent team, because they have this unbelievable network and communities that represents students, innovators from around the world, but also at Seedstars over the past 12, 18 months, what we've realized is that if we really wanted to continue and support these entrepreneurs, we had to participate in building a more robust pipeline of the future generation of entrepreneurs. And for that, in many ways, it's no longer focusing just on the enterprising, but focusing on the talent and figuring out how we can support local talent, wannabe entrepreneurs on the ground, to build their next challenge. So the individual challenge really has for objective to reunite the ideas from people from very different backgrounds around the world, so that we can start building the next set of solutions, the next set of generations that will help us meet the Sustainable Development Goals. So that was really something that was very important for us to add within the Seedstars ecosystem. Now, what better way to be loud, especially on the web where the rules of engagement are very different? We really wanted to define the action of these entrepreneurs and innovators through the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Even though there are 17 goals, as you've heard from Virginia and John, we've really wanted to identify and highlight for this edition 6 of them. It doesn't mean the others are not relevant. It means that these are definitely 6 pillars that represent the community, that reunites the community across very big topics, from gender equality to good education. Finally, I want to really thank everyone that has made this event possible. We have so many partners, supporters, fans that have taken their time to be a jury, a speaker, a panelist, even sign up to the individual challenge. It's been really great to see yet again the community reuniting quite seamlessly online also. I want to thank also partners like the Management School of Fribourg that really has supported us from inception in trying to figure out what was the best way to engage with this community worldwide, but also to support the edtech ecosystems around the world and the investments that we have made. So we're really, really excited, of course, to find out who the 6 winners for the Startup Challenge will be, who the 3 individual teams will be for the individual challenge, but also meeting with all of you, debating, leveraging this platform in the days to come. So thank you very much, and looking forward to engaging with you in the next days.
Thank you very much, Alisee, and thanks for your, of course, trust and working with us at the FT. And I think, of course, we want to thank all the Seedstars team that is behind the scenes, so you don't see them, but there is a strong Seedstars team and FT talent team that brought up this to life. So really, thank you so much, Alisee and your team. Thank you again, John, for connecting with us. And let's kick off now with the FT studio that can, of course, give us an overview of the challenge week that we can spend together. So I will leave it now to you, Haya, FT Talent Business Development Coordinator, to illustrate the next week together with the slides.
Give you an overview with the challenge for this week. So the first 2 days, we're going to start off by hearing from guest speakers and experts on the 6 SDG topics. The next 2 days, all teams will be working on their challenges. The individual category teams will be receiving mentorship from FT, and the startups teams will be receiving mentorship from the Seedstars mentors. And on Friday, we'll be hearing all the pitches from both categories, and we'll also be hosting the award ceremony. Networking will be following across the whole challenge, so it's going to be very exciting. Over to Noor.
Hi, everyone. I'm Noor. Welcome. I'm going to tell you a bit more about what you can expect today. So shortly, we'll be kicking off with our first panel on our first SDG topic, and that is gender equality. And right after that, we're going to go into our second topic, and that is climate action. So that's what you can expect for the morning. And then after lunch, we'll be coming back to a few sessions. So if you are joining us live and just watching the panel sessions, you'll notice that the agenda has some sessions that are highlighted in pink. So those are the ones that you want to be looking at, and those are the ones that will be streaming live. Whereas the ones that aren't highlighted, those are the ones that are for our 150 participants. There are extra sessions where we are giving them workshops, networking, that sort of thing, to prepare them as well for the pitch. So if you are joining us and just watching the sessions, we will not need you back after lunch until 4:30 GMT for our final SDG topic of the day, and that is quality education. And if you are a participant, you will be connecting back at 2:30 GMT for our workshop on the art of pitching, closely followed by a workshop on presentation design, and then we'll be having some networking for all the participants. So that's what you can expect from the day. You will also be able to ask questions, and we encourage it, and as part of all of our panels and sessions. And you will see a chat next to where you're watching this video live, which is where you can ask those questions. Please, when signing up to that chat, we'd love for you to enter your name and where you're connecting from, just so that we can know as well. And it's great for all the other participants to know where you're connecting from. And maybe some of you are connecting from the same place or connecting from places that you've never been and you're interested in. So it just helps us know where everybody's connecting from. So yeah, please ask questions throughout the day through that chat, and hopefully you enjoy. And back to Virginia now, who's going to kick off our first gender equality panel.
Thank you very much. So before we do so thanks to the FT Talent team connected from the FT studio. So before we're doing the first panel that is starting in 8 minutes, I would love to go through the chat. As we can see, there are so many different people that are connecting from literally all over the world. So we have from Egypt, Azerbaijan, Kenya, Nigeria, Morocco. So it's really great to see as many of you connecting here. I can see that many are, of course, as well presenting themselves, and I want to keep you encouraging doing so. Please do it through the chat, and of course, tell us a bit more about your idea, your startups, what you're working on. I think it's really important that we use this platform not just, of course, to network, but to know more about what is your perspective on the SDG topics. And this is also your place, ladies and gentlemen, for asking questions to our experts. So whenever there is a panel, start the questions flowing, because we are going to have some moderators behind the scenes that are selecting the best questions coming through. And what we're going to do is the last 15-20 minutes of each single panel, as you could see, is 1 hour panel, is going to be the place basically that we bring the interactivity to life. So it's really important that you ask as many questions as possible, and also you give us your perspective on that particular SDG topic that we are analyzing throughout the panel itself. Every panel, we are going to be joined by both FT experts and experts from all over the world, all over the organizations, NGOs, for-profit, private, etc. And of course, these are all from the Seedstars network. As this was mentioned before by my colleagues, what we are bringing here to life is really an opportunity to build a debate around SDG. But also we want to do it with a very hands-on experience. It's really important, and that has been of our trademark as FT Talent and the Seedstars, to have a pragmatical and hands-on approach to challenges and questions that are really meaningful and groundbreaking for the future of our planet and our society. So what we are going to do here is, as was explained throughout the overview of the week, is having different sessions where all of you, of course, can discuss with the experts. So we are bringing your question to live, so to the panel and to the virtual stage that is the one that you're watching now. But at the same time, what we encourage you to do is really to present your ideas, even if you are not from the bunch of 150 final participants that are taking part to the event. Why we are encouraging this? Because of course, the selection was a bit tight and numbers were closed, but we believe that the seed of innovation can be everywhere and can come, of course, from everywhere. So it's really important that you use this platform and that you use the time that you are investing to watch this live event for really pushing out here your ideas, your perspective, your innovations. And let all of the people that are joining here that are, of course, like-minded like you, and they believe in, of course, the importance of SDG, for you to connect and, of course, to know and to share your perspective. As it was said by the team, we have different interactive sessions. Some of them are open to the public, as the one of the chat, of course. But now a small note for the participants is really interesting and I believe really important that all of you came here with your innovations if you're a startupper. So you are, of course, the founder or your teams, your team representatives that are going to present on Wednesdays and Thursdays your ideas to large number of jury members that Seedstars has brought up to life for you. And this is happening on Wednesday and Thursdays. For the general public, however, is as these are, closed sessions, you are going to have a chance to know about these ideas and to meet the founders, thanks to our Friday last day. So on the 17th is your opportunity to literally meet, and thanks to a round table that is going to be co-chaired by Alisee and myself from Seedstars and the FT, then we are going to interview the startup founders that have been selected, but also that won the competition. So we're going to have 6 winning ideas from the startups, and also we're going to have 3 individual winners. Just to give a bit of a definition here, what does it mean, the winners? Who are these individuals? So out of all the network of participants, we got 60 group of people, 60 people that are really driven and are into the SDG, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals development. They are trying to develop in teams. So they just have this week and they just received this morning their challenges. So they know today what is the actual business case they are working on to try to tackle the SDG. And out of that, they are going to have the next few days to develop a business idea as much as a video presentation that is going to be projected only of the 3 winners on the Friday ceremony. I hope this gives you an overview of the next week. We are really encouraging you. Again, I keep seeing here all connecting and everyone messaging on the platforms. Keep it going. And of course, connect on LinkedIn. And we created as well some LinkedIn groups. So keep it going. And this is what this event is for.